Donc, hello everyone. Today I will go into Jamstack and trying to introduce you guys to this new technology, on this new hype. And let's go. So who I am? I'm Abderrahim Soubai Elidrissi. I'm a technical lead and cloud architect at Pulse Digital in Marrakesh. I'm also a Facebook developer circle co-lead in Marrakesh. I'm a CTO on my own company named GitHub. We are working on clouds and on IoT stuff. We have a technical podcast if you are interested. So it's Pentium.live. You can find all our episode in. You can find me on Twitter or in my personal website. And that's it. So the overview, or what we're gonna see today, I will just define what is Jamstack and what's the benefits using Jamstack or using more traditional architectures, the workflows, and I will end up by a demo to demonstrate how we can get started. So Jamstack. And not Jamstack like this. It's Jamstack. According to this issue, you can go here in the Jamstack GitHub account, and you can find this issue to people discussing how they can name the technology. And it's a cool thing about open source projects. Everything is opinionated, so even the name is opinionated, and that's a huge benefit. So Jamstack is nothing than a modern development architecture to create a fast, secure, and dynamic web application. So when we ask about what is this, it's just in simple words, it's a set of best practices, workflows, and tools that will help us to create a fast, secure, and dynamic web apps. And this JAM stands for JavaScript, APIs, and markup. Let's start with JavaScript, the G part of Jamstack. JavaScript, as you know, is one of the biggest hype in this last 10 years in web development. It's helped us to create a lot of flexible and stable and scalable web applications. And we can all React.js. Okay, I will try to follow the discussion, the comments in the other side. And if you have some questions or some notes, just put it there. I will see it after. So JavaScript in Jamstack is the dynamic part or the language that's handles the dynamic part of our application. So dynamic parts is fetching data, is computing stuff, and everything you want. So and the JavaScript here, it's mean JavaScript in client side. I don't talk about JavaScript in the backend, for example, Dino or Node.js. It's basically React.js, Vue.js, Angular, and Svelte. And Jamstack give you the choice to choose any framework you want to use JavaScript in your application. The next one is APIs. APIs are server-side operation abstraction. Are just we put our logic or our abstraction in a server side, and we make HTTP requests to get data or to manipulating data or execute some code in our application. So this APIs will make our application more real-world application. So, for example, if I'm creating a blog with a newsletter part or something like this, I will just try to use a serverless function, a Lambda function on AWS or Google Cloud to fire up my code and send email to the client. And these APIs can be our own API. So guys, you can develop your own APIs and put it in your application, or you can use third-party application APIs like Auth0 or something like this, to analytics or something like this, to pull up some cool functionalities to your applications. Okay. I think I have a question. How can I have access to the cloud session, please? The cloud session, please. By design, APIs are stateless. We don't talk about session in APIs. So every time you want to for example, call something with the stage in your application, you have just to use a token. This token is holding some information. Actually, it's holding the ID of the user, and we can validate this token. If it's valid, we pull up the ID, and we can make manipulation on this particular account of the client. But we don't have a real state in APIs. APIs are stateless. And in our case, in Jamstack, if you are using serverless stuff, there is two rules. The first rule is stateless. The second rule is asynchronous. For example, a stateless function are asynchronous. You don't have to wait for a response from a serverless function, because it can fail and you can break your application. We can talk about this later if you want. So no, I didn't talk about the markup. Is basically the simplest part of our application is the HTML files or static files. You can think about this as a skeleton of your application, and we can use our own HTML or just put it statically or generate it automatically using one of these guys here, Gatsby or Schooly UI or Hugo or anything else you want. We are using a lot of Markdown, so it's easy to manipulate and lightweight, and it can handle a lot of changes. And these files we can easily transfer them to an HTML markup. We'll publish the recording for decision. I think it's a question for Anas. Okay, summarization. So Jamstack is, as I said, is G for JavaScript, E for APIs, and M for markup and not Markdown. So JavaScript is our reactivity, is our computing part, and APIs is data source and interactions. For example, I can pull data from APIs. I can send email using API, and the markup is the content. We have an option here to in Jamstack architecture to use CPA or not. CPA are literally single page application. Single page application are the application that you create with using JavaScript framework. For example, React. When you create a React app, it's a single page application because the whole application is held in one file. It's the index.html, and for Jamstack stuff, it's optional. Why it's optional? Because we have something called a statically generated page, or in other words, we can, for example, use a traditional way to render our single page application. It's called in multiple case a server-side rendering. So the HTML is generated on demand, and it's send it back to the client and in every request, and like in PHP, or we can generate directly our pages, our static pages from the content from our Markdown or our HTML, and create an HTML static files that will serve it to the user, and they will fire the JavaScript that we have here in JavaScript part. So give me a second. I will. So Jamstack is not a framework. No, Jamstack is a set of technologies and workflow. It's not. It's an architecture and a point of view of how we will make our application. So, for example, if we think about it, it's like a lamp stack or MERN stack. They are not a framework, but they are a set of technologies and workflows and best practices to use a tool. Karim, qui est responsable de l'architecture du service, est-ce que le développeur ou bien un autre? Okay. Technically, Karim, an architect is the more the person that have more responsibility to set up architectures and set up some stuff. But in Jamstack, we are not decoupling this part on real services. It's just a basic separation of part. For example, if we took an old application and we separate the computing part, that is JavaScript, we have, if you have some abstraction and some code and some interaction, we put this in our API, and we pull up the markup and content in our markup part. And est-ce que c'est un développeur? In the most cases, in small companies, yes, the developer that is the responsible of such an architecture. But in big companies, there are some other profiles that can do this. Guys, on peut garder les questions-réponses jusqu'à la fin. Okay. So I will accelerate stuff. The architecture, I have here in the left a traditional workflow where the developer writes his code and on the server, and the client demand some pages on your server, and the server produce HTML in every request and send it back to the client, like PHP or Django or something like this. But for the Jamstack stuff, the developer is using, for example, static site generation is putting not on the server but on CDN. So we are talking about CDN. CDN, think about it as a network of multiple servers. So it's multiple server with the same domain name, if you want. It's a content delivery network. We are putting in this CDN, we are putting what? A pre-built files. So they are not produced in every request. They are already built and set. And the client is asked for something and you without reproducing in every request. So that's the main difference between traditional workflow and Java workflow. So what's the benefits? So a PHP developer that is very happy using his WordPress or something like this, why should change this? There is multiple reasons to use Jamstack in your next application. The first thing is blazing fast, and if I have some time, I can show you some examples of this. Why? Because it's served, it's static, and it's we can think about it as there is a multiple part of our application, or the most part of our application is pre-rendered or pre-built, and it's set, and the dynamic part is handled by JavaScript and APIs. And plus that, we have serving our application on CDN. So CDN are more powerful and has more performance than traditional servers. More secure. Why more secure? Because you don't worry about server, about setting up a server and maintaining the server with updates and stuff like this. And usually you don't have a database, because the content generally is, we use a headless CMS, and the headless CMS is hosted on other web server, for example, or other third party like Contentful or Strapi or something like this. So we don't have to worry about the security of app, because it's just a static app. Less expensive, for sure. Hosting a CDN or an HTML application is less expensive than hosting something on your AWS instance or Google Cloud instance. Better developer experience. We have a better developer experience because we have a clear separation between three big parts of our application: the computing part, JavaScript, the abstraction part, APIs, and the markup or the content part is the markup. Scalability is, for example, if today I have 10 clients, tomorrow I have 10 million clients, the scalability of a Jamstack application is easier than a traditional application, because we have this clear separation, of course, and it's on CDN, and there is a lot of benefit of having this three parts. Every part is separated on the other, and that's it. And to be, why you're not using Jamstack? It's new technology, yes. So we are talking about maturity. It's not that old. We have a stepper learning curve. So its learning curve is harder than traditional applications. So we have to learn APIs, markup, JavaScript frameworks, and stuff like this. And that's pain for some people. Okay. The workflow. This workflow is optional. It's the default one, but it's optional. You can use your own Jamstack workflow. So you put your code on GitHub or on GitLab or everything, and you are making an automatic building. The automatic building is technically on other services, for example, ZH or Vercel now, Netlify, GitHub Pages, Azure, or you can just use your own workflow from your cloud or your VPS, and we have the headless part, or the headless CMS part is a separation the content of development. You can see here the developer writes code and push it to GitHub, for example, and the editor edit the content of your web page and push it. It's not push it, is that updated on Contentful. By the way, Contentful has the same idea of branch. For example, you can have branch master and develop and staging, and every branch is linked to a specific version of your application. And this we have JavaScript here and content here. Maybe we have API, and this report we urgent in CDN or our automatic build service. And to just same, I have to repeat. These will have to okay. Have a developer that push code. So the option of hidden elements are just called as your WordPress, but without WordPress. You can create an image.
Allô?
Allô?
Oui, on t'entend. Qu'est-ce?
D'accord. Donc, je pense que je vais répéter cette partie-là. Donc, option headless CMS. Headless CMS, think about it, are just like WordPress, for example, but without front end. You don't have this front end part of WordPress, so you can guys add post, upload image, do whatever you want, and this image will import this data to you as a graph endpoints or endpoints data, and it in your and for this schema, the developer is pushing code to GitHub, and the editor is pushing to Contentful. These two parts are be merged in Netlify. Netlify is your automatic building here, and this compile your code and push it to the CDN, and this CDN, in this CDN your application will be live, and you can use it in every terminal, and this schema is repeating itself every time we have this in developer part or in the editor part. Okay. Okay, Karim, I will try to answer your question next. I will go to share screen to give you guys. If you can see my screen, just please tell me in. Yeah, okay. So for the demo, I try to use Next.js is statically exporting React app, so React app, put it in Next.js, and I will push this on to my CDN, so to the CDN. So you can access to a big set of your generator You can them in startgen.com. So we have Next for Vue.js, Gatsby, and Hugo, Dokai, everything you want. So today I will use JS. Is a React framework for Java and for
Abderrahim,
everything
je pense
else.
que tu as un problème avec ton micro parce que la voix se coupe. Je ne sais pas si ma voix se coupe aussi. Tu m'entends
Non,
clairement?
non, non, non. Oui, je t'entends clairement.
D'accord, donc je crois que tu as un problème soit de connexion, soit de micro.
Donc,
Je ne sais pas ce que tu peux faire pour ça.
je sais pas, je peux switcher en 4G, c'est mieux.
D'accord, si tu veux.
Donc,
Mais là, on t'entend. Là, c'est bien.
je sais pas. Donc,
Bizarre. Donc,
oui,
continue. Si ça se reproduit, je te dis
ça
pour que
marche,
tu switches. Merci.
ça marche. Ok, c'est pas grave. Donc, on va utiliser we will use Next.js for this, and okay, I will go to my. Are you guys seeing my terminal here?
Oui.
Okay, it's good. So I will try to make it better. So I will just go to my desktop at using npx, not installing anything. We have something like create next app for next. So we jump. So this will bootstrap a jump using next. It may take sometimes. So here's a something give for starter and installing React DOM and next. So to reproduce this demo, you have to install Node.js and having npm install it and VS Code as a code editor, and you will need to have a Vercel or Zet account to put your application in. So it's now cool. I will cd into my code. I will open my editor. Guys, can you see my VS Code?
Oui, كنشوفه.
Okay, so Next.js has a very basic architecture. So two folder, and first one is having some static assets, and second one having pages, having our React components. For example, if I created, I will show you. So I will use the built-in terminal to have everything in same screen, and I will just try to run this application. So I can just run diff. And starter have nothing special. It's just installing React for JSX and everything else. React DOM to plug my React application in DOM, and next to have access to this set of commands. Here I have my application ready. So I will go here. It's a bit slow because of sharing screen, I think. So guys, please be patient with me. يلا. I hope I don't miss something. No. So let's lift it here and go back. For example, the application will run for us this file. It's just a React component with JSX. So I will try to simplify this. And okay, so for this, I will just put each one. Like here, say hello. Yeah, that's the application. So that's the old code. I will just save, and we have, of course, the hot reload module, and here is our application. I will try to create another page. Create another page is easy. We are just creating a new React application. I have to const about. I will create a function with return. I can just use here a fragment and put in here tree. Okay, tree tag. So about page example. I've got, and I will call it about. What's that? The default. Yeah, I didn't export. Oh. Okay, it's about, I will try to create a simple dynamic route here, greeting, and this will take a file with a specific name. This name is great. And if I have props, I can compass them like this. Nothing special than a return with, for example, a div. And I will try to say hello to someone. This someone is our parameter, so I will have to import use router from slash router. What's this? Okay, it's my. So I will just.
I think you have a typo in from. You wrote from.
Yeah. I always do this. So I can just define another const with router. Oh, router use a router as a function, and I will destruct the query part to take name to query, and okay, can just do something like this. I have to export default. Right. Going back here, so I have to do something. Support NS. Okay. I have some reach everywhere. Oh, still having some. This because I. Okay, I have some errors. Cannot do. I think I missed bracket like this. Sure. Okay. I bet. The new one is this. So, Okay, so looks I can change the bracket and okay. That's our application. Time to have it on to push in to end. I have two ways. This one is I can push to my account and then link this repository to my project universal, and then every time I push it something, it will be updated. Or the other option is using using now CLI. So now virtual CLI, it will take charge to put my code in the CDN of Vercel. So I have just to type now like this, and magic will happen. So let's pretend. Of course, I'm already authenticated as my username, so you can configure this with your account. And so now the CLI is putting my code on the Vercel servers to automatically build this, and then they will execute the build and generate pre-rendered files, and they will put it in the CDN and give me a URL that I can just type it in my browser to access to my web application. So it's like this. It's a bit slow. I don't know why, but it will work. I think I can now check your question, guys. If so, when to SSR as single page application, when not to. Generally, we are using SSR method for optimizing our SEO. For example, if you are creating I don't know ecom website, you will need to optimize your SEO to check more clicks from Google, for example, or something like this. So SSR is very good in this case, because the content will be always there when the search engine crawler is here. So you will have your content indexed. And when not to use SSR, if, for example, is not using it, but I prefer to use it with something like a fallback mechanism. For example, here in Next.js, we have something. If you are making a SSG, so static site generator, we have an option that we can use a fallback to our single page application or to our SSR website. So this is a failover mechanism to just optimize and make your application more highly available for your client, I think. Okay. And Anas is making is answering about this, so I was like, okay, no, it's CPI website, ok. Comment on peut sécuriser des API dans Jamstack? It's not about Jamstack, but it's about the APIs. So generally, we are using a multiple mechanism to secure our APIs. The first and the basic one is you will need to have authentication on your APIs. For example, if you have a REST API and we have some sensitive data to get your client, for example, data and stuff like this, make sure you are accepting tokens. For example, you can go with GWT or other type of tokens to secure your APIs. If you have a big product like I don't know, Netflix or something like this, you have to add a multiple layer for security. For example, the easiest way is to add an API gateway, so a jump box between your application and your API, and this jump box is checking every request from the client or from the outside world to your application. So this mechanism is too efficient in security. You can add the EP's restriction and custom headers and everything you will you consider that is important for your security. But in general, APIs are more secure than classic applications. So you have already a bit advantage above the other applications. Okay, let's go back to our I have error, timeout. Okay, I will try. I think it's my connection.
You can switch الCatch if needed.
Okay. I think if I switch now, I will lose the conversation. So or I can just to no, I don't know. No, it's not here. Let's wait. Okay. Now it's working. It will take this application, build it, and put it on the verse CDN, and it will give me a link, probably this, to my application. So I can deploy my application easily and free using this service. Any questions, guys? Ajouter cette architecture en reverse proxy. Yes. you can add your reverse proxy as a cloud service. For example, if you are hosting your application in I don't know, in either AWS, for example, or Google Cloud, you can use their own service for APIs gateway to put a jump box, or you can do it yourself. So you can make this application like a second layer of your architecture. So you have to build the first one, and then you link your application with jump box. It's a bit harder because the application here is on CDN, but it's possible. Okay, yeah, we have our application. So if I click on this, it will open, and now it's on Versal.app. It's our application. I can make sure using greeting page. So live. Okay, it works. So it's hello live. So and it's on Versal. You can go to the Versal dashboard and see project. Okay, this is it. It's a jam. You can see activities, or for example, if I click here, I can see the historic of deployment, and I can see logs. I can see anything I want. So it's a good service, and it's free. I think go back to presentation. Okay, it's a thank you slide, and guys, if you have some questions, I'm ready to take it.
Merci Abderrahim. J'ai une question. Est-ce qu'on peut automatiser ce process que Versal ou Netlify font facilement et à la main?
Oui, généralement, je sais pas si je peux parler français ou anglais.
Oui, bien sûr.
Donc c'est le truc, c'est que j'ai pas montré la deuxième partie, donc c'est la plus simple. Donc c'est de pusher ce code là à GitHub, lier mon compte, par exemple ici. Si je peux partager mon écran une seconde, donc comme ça. Donc c'est à Versal là, donc je peux. J'espère que vous arrivez à voir. Donc overview. I can import projects here. So important projects from GitHub or some other stuff. From GitHub, for example, I have to put the link here, and it will pull my repository and put it as a project. And for example, if I made in future I made some updates or modification or something like this, the process will be automatically build the website and put it on production. I don't have to do this every time. So that's the magic behind this, because it's called automatic builder. So it's doing this automatically, and he can handle changes from headless CMS, for example, Contentful, or from the code from GitHub or GitLab. So both of them, if you change your content or you change your code, it will detect that and rebuild the application and put it on production.
Il y a une question de Karim. Can we integrate Scala in the Jamstack?
Wow, Scala. Okay. I don't know, but I think it's why you gonna do this for God? It's Scala. It's a lower level language that's used in generally in supercomputer and AI and machine learning stuff. And Jamstack is just a set of mechanisms that you help you to create a secure and easy to use or use it push to production web applications. So I think they are a different purpose. So I think you can't, and if you can, you have to create some APIs that can communicate with Scala and communicate with your application, and make the both application communicate each other.
I have another question. If I want to add, for example, npm do magic to the build commands, can I?
Yeah, for sure. You have just to create. I can share my screen. Okay, so it's like this. You will just make sure you are in script parts. You can. I will call it magic for this, and you can just put your comment here. For safety reason, it's better to add this command to your dependencies, but you can use your global installation like me here, and saving this. You can just write your real magic. It will do it now, and now will do the magic.
Nice. Is there any other question? Plusieurs utilisateurs sont en train d'écrire.
If you have guys some other questions.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
So I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Abderrahim. Thank you so much, Gaël, Hamza et Zineb, encore une fois, pour avoir répondu présent à cette 6e édition de KechTech. Et donc, merci beaucoup au public aussi. On sait que c'est dur d'avoir un événement samedi après-midi, surtout avec la fin du confinement. Donc, merci beaucoup et je vous dis à la prochaine fois. On mettra en ligne l'enregistrement très très prochainement sur YouTube et on partagera les vidéos avec vous. Donc, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.